I suppose, firstly, I've got to kick off with an apology. I have had 3 separate recordings go to absolute shit because of microphones. And I believe all of that is behind me. So I've got a cup of tea and a can-do attitude. Let's get into the episode. Welcome back. Feels so unbelievably peculiar not to have my microphone on my arm, in my face. It's sat on my desk. Still, I'm not comfortable about any of this. But I think it's working, which is the main thing. We find ourselves 26 games deep into our season with Duisburg. We're nearly at the end of the season. We just are. I believe you were last with me at the start of the season. So, I've got a lot to update you on. And if that hasn't taken 14 hours, we'll play a game against Union Berlin. But I suppose what we should start on is if you're happy for me to be back, like, subscribe, all of that madness. That would be beautiful. But then again, I suppose if you weren't subscribed, you wouldn't be aware that I wasn't back. I've now confused myself. Games, since you were last with me, is going to be an issue. I believe it was Holstein Kiel. We did come back for the Bochum game. Microphone just didn't work. My old microphone didn't work at all. Splendid. I'm not going to run through the results one by one, but you can notice in this gap there's a hell of a lot of red dots, neither of which are good. We played very well against Bochum. Unfortunate not to win on penalties, but they got the better of us. So we played through a little bit further, and then we came back for the game against Arminia Bielefeld with my new microphone, plugged directly into the arm, and just vibrations constantly. And I was getting earache just trying to edit the piss and thing. So I decided to throw that in the bin. And I'm hoping to get this one recorded, edited, and out on the same day that I was going to do that one for anyway. So I'm hoping it won't be too much of an issue for you. But as you can see here, a lot more little green dots and a few new faces or names. They haven't got faces yet. I'll show you them very shortly. But yeah, things seem to be picking up. We're dragging our way precariously, just vaguely towards promotion spots. I'm not of any concern that it's going to be happening this season. I'm kind of hoping this season is going to be a big old transitional season, which, to be honest, I probably wasn't going to come back for many episodes anyway. But that has been taken firmly out of my hands. So we've got, as I say, a lot of transfers. We received just shy of 7 million in transfers this season so far, and we've spent 1 million ourselves, which is brutal. And we've received our record transfer fee, which was about 4 million, 4 and a bit million, if I remember rightly. Let's go and have a look at what we've been up to. So I'm starting over this side, and we have our little faces over there who've left. Victor Lampanan, he's gone. He's out of here. £4.5 million. He's gone to... Oh, God, I did this last time. And then as soon as I started to say it, I realised I don't even know where to start. He's gone to these fellas. He's gone over to Turkey. £4.5 million. He's actually a club icon at the moment. So if I can, and I do have a chance to bring him in, I'm going to do so. We also have a 30% of next sale, but it's not the sale, it's profit. There we go. 30% of profit. Which we can probably sell at some point if needs be. But he's gone over, 4.5 million, bought us in a lot of money that we can then do stuff with. Another defender that's left, Apostolis Konstantinopoulos. First try, what are you saying? He's gone to Nuremberg. Pretty good for us, to be fair. But we've gained £500,000 and he said he wanted to leave. So we'll take it. Dale Minton, a little bit annoyed. I brought him back from his loan in January. He then decided to accept a contract with Norwich. I had the option to sell now. It started at 1 million. I went from that down to £500,000, neither of which were accepted, obviously. So I thought I would just play him for the rest of the season and then he can go away. I bought in a replacement left back and then thought, nah, bin it. I'm going to sell him for however much we get. When I returned to it, like 100 grand. I think he eventually went for 75, which is a bit disappointing. Good player, but he's gone. Similar situation with Rode. He accepted a contract with Hallershare, so I just took 5k to get him off the books. We've got a few loanees as well. Cedric Duchess has gone out to Berlin at AK. I tried to offer him out for £0. Literally no one wanted him. And I loaned him out. Well, I tried to obviously get all of his loans. That didn't work either. So he's gone to them and they're paying 10% of his wages. So like 300 quid. Which is pretty much a waste of time. But at least it's money that we're not spending. And the kind of big sale as well, Marco Moller. So he's our main goalkeeper and he has been for the last few seasons. Came in for us on a free. Been brilliant. Especially that first season we came up. He had a rating of nearly 7.5. But I've got a few other goalkeepers in the club now. A Brazilian guy that we sent out on loan has came back. And we've got Roonsley, who's starting to kind of edge his way towards being the top goalkeeper. So, I thought we'll let Moller go. I'd have liked to get a little bit more money for him. But £1 million for someone we got on a free, we'll take it. We'll move on. So our signings. We've bought 2 players for actual money. Firstly being that left back I was talking to you about. Bilal Brahimi looks pretty decent. Quite aggressive. Doesn't actually play at left back. But he can play at left wing back. But we've tweaked the tactic ever so slightly, which will account for that, as I'm sure you can guess what the tweak is. Another player we signed for money, I'm going to cover him last, because he's hopefully going to be the pick of the bunch. We bought in Ezekiel Fernandez. He's going to cover Folarunsho, who was our centre mid. He's also decided to go somewhere else, but we didn't ever have a chance to sell him now. So he's sat in the reserves, because obviously he said he was leaving. He's dead to me, pretty much. So Ezekiel Fernandez is coming in to replace. Valued at 1.8 to 3.8 million, which I wasn't aware of until the first time I tried to record this. He looks decent. He hasn't played too much for us, to be fair. But even if we can take him for a year and then sell him for even the low end of that value, I'll be over the moon. Other players that have came in, quite a lot of South Americans. I think one of my scouts went on holiday and got a little bit carried away, because we've got about 8 South Americans that have come in. Junior is probably the best of them. He looks pretty strong. Came in on a free, 19 years old. We may have the chance to get him trained at club. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure he's 19 at the point when he joined us. But he's came in. I mean, looks pretty decent. I'm not going to run through all their stats individually because it will take me hours. Marcelo Henrique, another pretty decent one that's came in on a free, valued at half a million, to about 1.3. Again, pretty young. May have a similar situation where we might be able to get homegrown status on him. We also brought in, we'll finish off with all the Brazilian first. Aminho, not as good, decent, considerable value. He's actually Portuguese, but he did come from a Brazilian club, so still counts. We have Leonardo, again, pretty decent striker actually. Value isn't quite as strong as the others, oddly, but looks like he could be useful for us. We have Roberto Ferranda, Argentinian. He did come in as a left mid or centre mid. I'm trying to train him back to be a left wing back, maybe as an inverted wing back positioning as well. And most recently, Matheus. I've not much to say about this fella. He looks all right. He's gone straight back on loan to Atletico de Cajazoeira. No, just give up on that one. Just move on. And Kenny Hartmann-Skov came in. He's Danish. He's a centre back. I thought, why the hell not? We'll bring him in. He'll do a good job. He's got 5 tackling. That's not the best. And then I believe the only fellow we've got left to cover is Zlatan Rammitch. He's our new striker. Finishing is only 11, but it's still decent. He's came in, he's played 7 games for us in the league, 5 goals, 1 assist, so he's doing pretty well at the moment. I mean, yeah, looks alright. We spent quite a lot of money on him, 625 grand. I couldn't knock that down at all, but I had the money at the time, so I spent it. I wanted a new striker who hopefully was going to do a good job. I took a bit of a punt on this one because he hadn't been fully scouted, but it seems to have paid off, so we'll roll with that. And they are the new and old faces, gone and came in their respective orders. Our new game is in, do you know what, the game's in 14 days. Screw it, we're not doing it. We'll just have an update and we'll be back for the end of the season, because I'm quite confident saying we're not going to be getting promoted anytime soon. I've also got the youth intake. I got it right first time. I'm so proud. I mean, yeah, Gunter Schwartz, gutted, absolutely gutted. He's out of contract at the end of the season, or at least he was. I offered him a contract. He decided to stay with Hoffenheim. Livid. So I am still playing him because he's good, and I can't afford to drop him, to be quite honest. But if I could afford to drop him, I'd have dropped him so quick. We have all sorts of what's it called? I forgot what it's called. Cover. Squad depth is through the roof. They've just had the situation in Germany where they release all their youngsters, and I've just brought him in on trials. Most of them are a bit naff. This guy isn't the best, but his name's Frederick Pogenborg, which is he's almost worth signing just for that, to be honest. If we see him again, just assume it's just because his name's fantastic. We have these two fellas, Julian Engelhart, who's an attacking centre mid, probably going to drop him back to centre mid if we're realistic. He looks pretty decent. His flair is insane. Everything else is just all right. Unambitious personality isn't the best, but I'm sure we can get something out of this fella, even if it's a bit of money. Lorenz Weichert? Not a clue. He's 5'9". He only plays right wing and right mid, but I'm tempted to see if we can drop him back to the right back position. His tackling's not a mile off. It's not great, actually, to be fair, looking at that again. I'll have to figure out what I want to do with this fella. But he looks decent. I don't think he's going to be a striker either. Honestly, I don't know what position he'll play. And then we've got a Romanian, George, this fella. Again, can play the left side. Or possibly the right side, if we look at him for an inverted version. But he looks like he could be quite handy as well. Unsporting, which I'm a big fan of. But all these changes and signings and the like, and the tactical change, have led us up to 5th in the table. So if we can finish table-wise better than we did last season, I'll be pretty handy. We were 8th, and now obviously we're 5th. So we can carry that on. Beautiful. One thing I'm going to have a look at as well is our season preview. We were, and had been, forever, just kind of floating in that bottom 2 or 3 teams. We're now up to 13th. Woo! How exciting. Things are going well. Things are going in a direction that I'm happy that they're going in. We'll send Beltran out on another intensive language course. And I think what we're going to do is call that there. It's going to be a nice, short and sweet episode for us, but it's more of just a stopgap till I can get a proper episode done. Same reasoning for the Villa saves. I've just had a real struggle with these microphones. I'm hoping that this episode is fine. I'm pretty sure it will be, because I did a few tests, which were peculiar. But they seem to have done the job. We'll be back for, I'm thinking, just Nuremberg, final game of the season. We'll have our season review, even though you've not seen much of it. But we'll do our season review nonetheless. And we'll set out our plan for promotion and the title next season. Because I'm pretty happy with how things are going. These guys need to bed in. Our cohesion isn't quite there. But the club atmosphere and the managerial support, we're having a wonderful time. We are going to lose, I've just noticed, both of our team leaders, because they are loanees who I'm not planning to renew. Also, Sekulov may sell it. It's fine. It's a problem for me in the next transfer window, not this one. But I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Even though we didn't have a game, hopefully it's provided you with plenty of information. And once again, sorry for the delay in videos. But there are some over here if you do want to carry on watching the older stuff. And thank you very much for your time.